Hello everyone, Jamarcus here, and I'm here with week 7 of the Showdown Master Ball division of the SPDA. We're faced off against Skipper, who we've actually faced twice before, both times in last season of Ultra Ball, and we managed to beat him both times, once in quarterfinals and once week 1. Um, Quarterfinals I got pretty lucky, and I had a good matchup both times, so this time around I think I also have a pretty good matchup. I'm scared of backs, but I do have Skarmory, which I think looks fantastic into a lot of my opponent's team. Cinderace is probably their biggest threat against me. My fire resists aren't great. It's really just Swampert that can take it on. I think like a Terra Arbalova could probably do it too. And then Carbink would be fantastic, but I don't think Carbink looks particularly good here. Gardevoir and Dragalge are a bit of a problem. So, as I said, I think Cinderace is the biggest threat. The nice thing here is that look at these speed tiers, almost 30-point gap. So this means my Iron Moth can run a lot of special attack. It can afford to run Modest and still have some bulk to live a Sucker Punch or something. Kyurem needs to run pretty much max speed, but then the same thing can be said for my speed tiers. Their Excadrill and their Moltres Galar here pretty much need no speed. They can run max HP, which is going to be really helpful for them and make it hard for me to kill them. Same thing with backs. It just needs enough speed to be faster than Moon at +1. So a bit of a Hail team here. Although if they set up Hail, that's really good for Kyurem. Getting that defense boost is going to be nice, especially against their big physical attackers here. Scarf Gardevoir is I'm expecting as well. It's just really good at revenge killing, like a choice, a Specs Kyurem, I guess, or Roaring Moon. As for the team I brought, Weakness Policy Kyurem with screens is kind of the core. I figured with Weakness Policy up, I can activate it from a Moonblast, maybe from a Dragon move, but that'll do a lot of damage. Only if Hail's up would I consider that. But also Iron Head, like a Body Press, Dragon Pulse, Draco Meteor. I think I can activate Weakness Policy pretty consistently. I can afford to run Adamant. I'm only really running enough speed for Gardevoir. I don't care about these four. I figured I can get a Dragon Dance or a Scale Shot speed boost anyways. And I want that damage because I need to be able to kill Slowking so I don't get Thunder Waved. Next up is Screamtail. Just a pretty boring set. Reflect Light Screen with Light Clay. Stealth Rocks and Encore. I had Rocks on Skarm, but I changed it last minute to put them on Screamtail because I really wanted Iron Defense. And then Encore last move just for like Dragon Dance backs. I have enough speed for Moltres Galar and everything below it. And then the rest in HP and physical bulk. Skarmory, boring Skarm set, just so I don't get swept by Excadrill or Baxcalibur. After an Iron Defense, I can take on Cinderace pretty well as well. I have Whirlwind purely for the Chestnut, so I don't get Iron Defense, Body Press swept with Leech Seed and all that. Next up, a really weird Roaring Moon set. I made this like a week before we actually played the battle, and it's kind of an odd set. I don't care to speed tie Cinderace, so I'm just running enough speed for Moltres, which is letting me run a lot of attack, adamant, and quite a bit of defense as well. Knockoff is really spammable this game. They don't have the greatest switch-ins in it. I really thought, I'm really thinking, I should say, Terra Fairy Chestnut is going to show up for Dragon Dance Roaring Moon. So I figured I'd be better just U-turn on it. I have Taunt in case I don't want Chilly Reception to happen. And then Black Glass's knockoff just does a lot of damage to everything. Dragon Tail could be nice against like a setup Cinderace or Excadrill. Pretty much just click knockoff this game though for Roaring Moon. Next up, another win con in case Kyurem doesn't work. Booster Speed Moth. I had Booster Special Attack uh, for a long time, but I figured I'm really weak to Cinderace. Let's have something faster than it. Scarf Gardevoir is pretty likely as well, which this will be faster than. I need to run max speed for so I can have as much special attack as possible. And then I just have 4 attacks. No fire move, because I really wanted to fit Psychic for Dragalge, who I thought looked pretty good into my team. Dazzling Gleam I wanted for backs, and then Energy Ball I wanted for the Slowking. Although Energy Ball is not doing anything to that. So maybe I should have had the Fire move. So I have a stronger move into Excadrill. And maybe Rotom if it shows up. What do I expect to show up? I think top 5 are pretty likely. And then probably Terra Fairy, Chestnut for my Roaring Moon. Although I could also see Dragalge show up if they're more scared of Iron Moth. So what do we see? We see no backs, but we do see the top 3 with Gardevoir, Dragalge, and Rotom. So I had planned on leading Screamtail, but seeing the Dragalge and no backs makes me not want to lead it quite as much. So I actually end up leading Typhlosion. Every time I've brought Typhlosion, I've led it at this point. It's just such a good lead. I forgot to show you the Typhlosion set. Life Orb, pretty much max speed for the Moltres. Terrago Shadow Ball. Nothing really wants to switch it besides Moltres. I have Fire Blast just to be a bit stronger into those two. And then Wisp and Endeavor. So, lead Typhlosion into lead Cinderace. This is pretty good for me. I see its boots, tells me it's not Choice Band, tells me it won't kill me with a Sucker Punch here. With that being said, I kind of don't have a nice move to click here. If I click Shadow Ball on their Sucker Punch, I'm not going to do very much damage. They're going to do like 60% to me, I think it was. Maybe more. I can't quite remember, but Sucker Punch would not kill me, then I would do 30% to them. Who cares? So I actually have to click Wisp here. If they Sucker Punch, I'll Wisp them. I can't actually remember if Sucker Punch would fail or not, and if they would turn into a Dark type. Either way, I don't lose anything that turn. Um, and then if they switch, I burn something, so I'll take it. I'm just expecting them to U-turn probably, so I just click Wisp. I figured burning anything would be good. I don't Terra Ghost just in case they click Pyro Ball, and I Wisp. I figure I want to go for the Iron Moth win, so I think getting damage on Dragalge is what I want to do. I don't really have a comfortable switch. I thought about going Screamtail this turn, because I don't think there's any world that you're clicking a poison move and getting my screens up, but I think that's a bit too early. Maybe I get up rocks. I don't want Screamtail Toxic though, which I think is also a likely play here. I don't want to go Skyrim because Thunderbolt does a lot if they're trying to predict me. I definitely expect them to have Thunderbolt because otherwise I would wall them. And a Dragon move's doing too much to Kyurem, doing too much to Roaring Moon. I don't want to use Iron Moth's booster yet. So I have to just stay in. I'm probably just going to sack this and die to Draco. I'm okay with that. Let's just Terrago Shadow Ball. It should do about 50%. So a little under 50, unfortunate, and they're Black Sludge, which is getting them out of the 2 KO range. They Thunderbolt expecting Scarm, and then I Shadow Ball, bringing them very low, putting myself in range of Dragon Pulse. And then to revenge kill this, I don't have attacking move on Screamtail, so I don't want to do that. Skarmory I could body press, that just invites in Slowking and then Hail goes up. Although they don't really have Hail abusers this game. Just Blizzard on Rotom Frost really. I think Hail's better for me than them. I just decided to kill this with Roaring Moon. Nothing wants to switch into a knockoff. I think any scenario they're just sacking this, but I will go for that. They go Gardevoir. This is the most obvious Scarf Gardevoir of all time. I go Skarmory because I don't think there's any world that you risk um, me staying in. I think you're always clicking Moonblast here. So I go Skarm. I take a Moonblast. Does 31. Tells me they're not Choice Scarf, or Choice Spec, sorry. I'm very much expecting them to be Choice Scarf here. So here I think, okay, I can either Body Press, expecting a switch, but they're probably going Slowking anyways. That's not going to do anything. I don't have hazards on this, so I don't really make progress in that way. So I can Iron Defense or I can Roost, or I can make a really aggressive play and switch out. I don't think this Carnivore is staying in. There's no reason to keep Moonblasting this Skarmory. I'm just going to Roost. And eventually I'll beat you. You'd make me run out of Roost before you run out of Moonblasts, but I can Iron Defense. I can Whirlwind you out. I think I would be in a fine spot. So I actually opt to switch to Roaring Moon here, expecting them to switch out to Slowking and get a free knockoff, which would do a lot of damage to something. So I switch into Roaring Moon here after my leftovers, and they stay in a Moonblast and kill me. That's not good. There goes my unresisted Black Glasses Adamant knockoff. And there goes one way to break, and then my other breaker in Typhlosion is dead. So it's kind of up to Kirim and Iron Moth to win the game now, and I've got some defense in Screamtail and Skarmory. I know, I'm pretty sure they're locked into Moonblast now. I figure I can either go Skarm, which puts me in the same position, predicting a Slowking to come in, and I don't have any way to progress. I can go Iron Moth and use my booster. I don't want to do that. Or I can go Kyurem and die to Moonblast. So I decide to go Screamtail, I believe. Yeah. And get up my screens. They decide to switch out. And they go Slowking. That's fine. They Scald. They burn me. A little unfortunate. Extra chip, but it's fine. Getting up rocks is really important here. Uh, just getting extra chip on Gardevoir. And especially Rotom will be nice if it's not Boots. I know Cinderace is Boots though. Excadrill comes in as I set up my Reflect. And I go Kyurem. Fantastic position for me. They spin, that's fine. I have a Reflect up, and I'm in snow. This Iron Head's not doing any kind of damage. This is a very free Dragon Dance. They expect me to be Weakness Policy and click Earthquake, which is a fair play. I Dragon Dance, and I'm expecting to be faster here. I'm actually not necessarily, because I'm pretty slow. I'm Adamant. So if they're max speed, they would be faster. Although, based on the um, speed tiers, they don't really have a reason to be running any speed at all. So I Dragon Dance again. I figured I'm faster, but I need more boosts to be able to kill Slowking. I Dragon Dance it once more as they Ironhead. They give me Weakness Policy, and we're looking pretty good now. We pretty much just have to hope this Cinderace doesn't have Sucker Punch, and we win the game. Slowking comes in, tells me this is probably not Sucker Punch Cinderace, or else it would have come in, although I have a Reflect up, so I would still live. They make a good play, stalling out my screens by going Gardevoir. I Icicle Spear, and Slowking comes in. At this point, I figure I win the game. Why not go Cinderace and Sucker Punch by now? Maybe they think Sucker Punch doesn't kill, um, but they just go Slowking. Dragon Claw will kill this thing. And they were Rocky Helmet, so that's actually going to put me in range of Sucker Punch if they have it, which they do. But that put me in a very good spot. Kyurem got 3 kills there. Pretty nice. From this point, I think Skarmory looks pretty good. Thunderbolt's going to be doing a lot of damage from Rotom, but if I can get a light screen up, I will live one. Then Iron Moth, if I get a little bit of chip on both, should be doing pretty good. I update my screens up here. I know a Gunk Shot will not kill me because they've already used their Libero, and I can get up screens so that Skarmory can live some hits from both of these guys, because right now they're getting... Actually, I think I live Pyro Ball because of max defense, but I don't live Thunderbolt. Getting up screens will help Skarmory chip down both Rotom and Cinderace so that Iron Moth can win. That's my game plan from this point. They just opt to U-turn, go to Rotom, and I get up a Reflect. They Thunderbolt. They're faster than me, tells me they're Choice Scarf, which is fine. Um, just them not clicking Trick there is pretty nice for me. I know I'll live another Thunderbolt. I get up my rocks. Knowing their Choice Scarf, getting that damage on Rotom is going to be very helpful because I don't have a fire move on Iron Moth, so Sludge Wave is my strongest move into it. They Pyro Ball and kill me, that's fine. I can go Skarmory. I know I live uh, 2 Pyro Balls. They burn me, very unfortunate, and as I Iron Defense. Burn will half my damage from Body Press, which is very unfortunate because that means I'm not killing Rotom now, although after Rocks I should be, and I'm definitely not killing Cinderace. They U-turn as I Roost. Roost takes me out of range of Thunderbolt, which lets me Body Press. I have 1 turn of Reflect left, so I'm going to live this Pyro Ball at 18 as I Body Press into 45. In hindsight, I probably should have clicked Roost there, although that's risking a crit. so I'm in between, actually. They Thunderbolt down to 26. If I Roost, then I would lose my Reflect. I would still live another hit, though, but I don't think I'd be ever have a chance to click Iron Defense again. So I think Body Press here was actually fine. And it comes up to Iron Moth. Sludge Wave will usually kill, and the Cinderace Sucker Punch will definitely not kill me. If they have Zen Headbutt, it will kill me, but I'm faster than them after my booster speed. Sludge Wave usually kills them. It's pretty close, but Sludge Wave does take the kill. Very close. I don't know if their last move was Zen Headbutt. Maybe Court Change, although I feel like they probably would have clicked that, seeing as my screens and rocks were up. Maybe they had Gong Shot for Screamtail, maybe they had High Jump Kick for Kyurem. There's a lot of coverage moves they could have been, although I think Zen Headbutt makes the most sense. So had I not killed them there, they would have clicked Zen Headbutt and killed me. But we won. That puts us at 5-2, which confirms us for playoffs, I believe. My differential is not great, but I think even if I lose pretty badly next week, we should be okay. I'm pretty happy with the team I brought. I feel like Rocks on Skarmory would have been better. I didn't really need Whirlwind in this case, although Whirlwind for Chestnut would have been really helpful, but it did not show up. I think Dragon Dance Roaring Moon would have been fantastic into the team they brought. They did. I think I didn't actually ever reveal if they were Gardevoir Choice Scarf or not. So I think they were Double Scarf, but I'm not actually sure. But yeah, Dragon Dance Roaring Moon feels like it just won this game. Maybe they were like Shuka Excadrill or something. I don't know. But I brought this wacky set instead. Pretty happy with how I played. That Roaring Moon turn was really aggressive from me. Right here. And I think it was a good play on my opponent to stay in, recognizing that Scarm doesn't really do anything to you. Uh, if you Moonblast again as I Iron Head, and probably don't kill you to be honest. Now I'm really low, that helps Excadrill late game, who otherwise looks fantastic here. So staying in the Moonblast again makes sense, and also Slowking is really obvious there. So me going into Roaring Moon to expect that, I guess my opponent expected me to do that. So good play from him. I think I had the matchup in my favor. The Pyro Ball burn kind of sucked, but we still pull through. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.